This is our Circle K Theater where we do our Funky Buddha Brewery Green Rooms. And today we've got something different for you guys. Obviously, you know what's going on tonight. Tampa Bay Lightning. Come on. First game. And the NHL have brought us Cage the Elephant for a free show, which is amazing. And we are lucky enough to have Matt Schultz here for an exclusive interview and you guys here to be a part of it. So give it up right now for Matt Schultz.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's funny. Right before we started, I was talking with somebody about you. You guys have been a part of our station for a long time, and it was Next Big Thing 9, where I believe you stage dove with Modest Yahoo, and it didn't end
that was a while ago. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're happy to have you back, and it's an exciting time for us with the Tampa Bay Lightning, and you're kicking off tonight at Curtis Sixton Park.
Yeah, good to be here. Thank you guys for being here as well.
And on the heels of Ready to Let Go, congratulations. The song is amazing, and I think you're in your 4th or 5th week at number 1.
Yeah, 5th, but who's counting?
Who's counting? Who's counting? Not my job. Now, I know that Ready to Let Go, the whole album, Social Cues, which is out next Friday, is a very special one for you and came from a very emotional place. Can you just tell us a little bit about the album and that journey for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think every record we make is really personal and emotional. I'm an emotional guy. Yeah, you know, I've been asked a couple times in this process if it was a difficult record to make, and not necessarily a difficult record to make, but a record that was made during a particularly turbulent time in life. And sometimes those seasons just happen, and we just happen to capture it on record. And so with each record, you glean something from the process and from the experience, and try to incorporate it into the next one. And we're always just trying to find a more honest place or a deeper level of transparency while maintaining some protection. But whatever. I mean, I think the idea is that you continue to make works that have a positive impact on people. So,
well, it's one of those songs I remember when it first came out and I heard it and I read about it. Everybody can kind of relate to that place, and I think that's what's really special about it. When you found out it went number 1, which is a place that you're pretty used to, which your 8th number 1 in the last decade, what's that moment like? Is it more special because the song has so much meaning?
No, I you know, it becomes more special not because of this what the song's about, but just the feat itself. I think is it's a pretty strange one to be number 1 or at like in something in the arts. You're the best drawer in the world. Oh wow, thank you. My pencil drawings are the best. Really, it's the secret's in the nose. I worked on the nose. The freckles look so real. No, I'm joking. Sorry. I could go on and on. No, I think that you just like you realize how unlikely it is to get to that place. The more it happens, and so. You know, it becomes more and more of an honor, at least for myself. I'm just like, oh, wow, crazy. We're, 12, 13 years in, and people are still responding and still care. That's amazing. Thank you guys for that, by the way. I know it's a big ask when you create something and you're like, this was part of me. Will you let it live in your heart? No, it's trash. I think this is the worst heart you've ever had. Get it out of my face. Okay, I'll go back and work on my heart. You were right. I went down a bad path. I went down a bad path. So you just never know.
No.
Your heart is selfish. It's selfish. So, anyways, but yeah, with the subject matter, I mean, we're always trying to write something that we believe in, hoping that it's something that will continue to perform for years and years to come, and something that you're comfortable with reliving. And believe it or not, the more personal and the closer that it is to you, the easier it is to relive. I mean, I can't imagine what it would be like to sing a song about sneakers for the rest of my life. That would be weird. So. Somewhere someone wrote a song about sneakers and like, oh, my heart. No, but yeah, so I don't know if that makes any sense. I know I went off on a
No, it
tangent
does.
there.
I mean, there's a song about lip gloss out there somewhere, and thrift shops. There's all kinds of things.
Yeah,
So
there we go.
we absolutely love the song, and when you guys find out a song goes number one, like as a band, do you like call each other like, whoa, like what's that? What happens in that moment?
Yeah, I guess so. Everyone, we see each other at rehearsals. We're like, sick, high five. Coffee's on me, guys.
Let's do it again.
Yeah.
And you guys just released another song this week, Goodbye, which is, I mean, I listened to it a few times just this morning. It's super powerful. When you go to like perform those songs now, because you've got a tour coming up and you're going to perform songs like that live, does it feel like, do you get more anxious or more nervous because they're such intense songs for you, or is it kind of like therapeutic? Like here's my heart,
Yeah.
like you were saying.
First off, every time someone talks nicely about my songs, I do this weird thing where I get like puppy eyes and like, talk more about me. Oh, thank you. I'm gonna just live in this glow for a moment.
You've earned the glow. You have earned it.
And I always try to stop myself. I'm like, oh no, I'm doing it again. And I'm on camera. No, yeah, to perform them, I'm generally excited, and I think I'm probably as excited as the audience, just to see how it'll manifest itself in like a performance space. And I always try to leave. So when you're painting, you have what's called the obsessive hand and the decisive hand, and so you want to allow yourself the latitude for natural, real things to happen, impulses to come out, and then kind of play with that and have an interaction with those impulses as they arise. And so I'm always really excited to see how that'll happen live, because it's important not to plan those things going into it. So for myself, I usually get excited to play stuff live, especially when it has a lot to work with.
Mm-hmm. And your show always ends up somewhere with a stage dive or a back bend or like some kind of craziness.
It will be something.
Just looking through pictures of your live performances, I'm like, how is he in that position? I don't understand.
Oh God, I'm gonna start doing that thing again.
Well, speaking of, you do have the Night Running Tour, which is coming back to Tampa August 29th, so we get to see you again. Very exciting. And that's a co-headlining tour with Beck. And you have a song with Beck, Night Running. How did that collaboration kind of develop?
We had been working on that song for a bit, and had the track working for the most part, the music. The chorus was happening, and everyone was really excited about it. And we all felt like it was going to be a special song. And a lot of times when I'll approach a song, I just try to like imagine some kind of character who can carry that narrative and give it a personality. And for this particular song, I just couldn't think, like, nothing was coming to me. I'm like, how about a wizard from New York? I don't know. No, not just joking, but I couldn't think of a particular approach. And so Brad had just had it in his mind that somehow Beck would know.
He's
which
the
which he
wizard.
did. Yeah, Brad's like a wizard from L.A. No, so uh, without telling the rest of the band, Brad had it sent off to him, and so like one morning I woke up and I got a text message and it was like, "Here's some verses from Beck." I'm like, "What?" Because he's one of the artists that had a huge impact on me growing up, and I would have never dreamt that we would have worked with him, and gave it a listen. And it was just floored by how great it was. Another thing I didn't know is it had been sent to him only 2 days before. So I mean, it's just a testimony to his immense talent. I think he was on tour somewhere in Asia and just found a studio and cut the verses, and so here we are.
Well, it's a great song. We love it. And can't wait to hear the rest of the album and see you guys together back in Tampa. So, and you all will be there, right? And we get to see you tonight, which is a nice preview. And speaking of, I have your questions, a couple from you guys. So let's start with Ramel. I hope I said your name right. Okay.
Hi. I was wondering if I could ask you about Goodbye. Could you tell us more about what went into writing it?
Yeah. Well, over the past past 2 years, it's just been, like I was saying, a particular turbulent time in life. My cousin, who was my best friend growing up, passed away very suddenly while we were making the record, and then two other dear friends of mine had taken their own life, and a relationship just wasn't working out, and so there was just like this theme of almost like forced goodbyes, and in most of those cases it was a circumstance where there had been a lot of effort to prevent that kind of an ending, and the song was just like a means of closure, I think.
Something we can all definitely relate to. If you guys haven't heard it, it's awesome. Taylor.
Can I want to say a little bit further on that because I feel like I was being a little protective, but like, it was also, when you're talking about sadness and times of grieving, you can't experience those as fully as you can when you don't exclude other notes of emotions as hope. And I don't know if you've ever heard of a bright sadness, which is that with deep grieving comes deep joy. And so, it's just I think I get protective sometimes when I'm facing those kinds of things because it's a hard thing to explain. A lot of people have asked me, they're like, "Is this a dark record?" And to me, it's a very bright record, but it deals with really real things, and it confronts those things kind of fully and head on. And I think if you're not ready to face those kinds of things, it feels overwhelmingly dark. But it was really a sweet song of just saying, you know what, I love you so much. I've loved you so much. And sometimes you, in those situations, in one way or another, you have to still say your farewells. And so that's what that song is about.
Taylor, you want to go ahead?
Were there any song concepts you sat on for a while before writing the new album?
Yeah, we're constantly working on new material and sharing ideas, trying to find something to become obsessed with music again. And so I'd say the better part of the material is our ideas that are forming all the, like, half of the record generally comes from when we're touring and sharing ideas, and then when we get into the studio, the material will find its own DNA and personality, and everything shifts. But one song in particular would be "Night Running" with Beck. We'd had that track for like maybe 3 years.
Wow, that's awesome. And what a great collaboration it ended up with.
Yeah, right.
Gavin.
Hey, what's your favorite tour food to eat?
Tour food. Yes. Protein bars. It's usually all you have time to eat. No, I don't know. I think sushi maybe. It just depends on the city, really. Yeah, that's not a good answer. Sorry.
Especially if you accidentally go to a not great sushi place, if you're
Yeah.
not familiar. It's so funny you say that. We had a band through recently, and one of the members was not feeling well, and we were like, oh. And it turns out they had gone to sushi.
Oh no.
And I just felt like, please don't let that be how you remember Tampa.
Yeah, right.
Julia?
Okay, I'm really excited to ask this one. I've thought about it for a while. So, Tiny Little Robots was the first time that you used spoken word on a track. Could you just talk a little more about what inspired that, and if maybe we'll see that again on the new album?
I think at the time that we were making that record, I was doing a lot of experiments, just free writing experience. It was funny experiments. I would like bring my friends in and act like their counselor and sit on my couch, and they would lay down, and then I'd just have them stream of consciousness start talking about different things, and I would just start typing and pulling lines and riff off of what they were saying, and then start turning it into these poems and stuff. And golly, we had some deep sessions. I mean, people would start opening up like, there was this one time that it hurt me so bad.
He's not responding to my text.
Yeah, exactly. I think you should give him some space. So anyways, yeah.
Emmy?
Okay, hi. So, if you could have a song on any movie soundtrack, what would it be?
Jeez, that's tough. I think like Requiem for a Dream jumped out in my mind. Aronofsky, just about any of his films. I know that's not what you're looking for. Wes Anderson films, Kubrick, Fassbender. I think I lean more towards directors than
Yeah.
particular films, but Clockwork Orange, Full Metal Jacket, that kind of world.
Nice.
Alexandra. That'll be our last one.
Hello. My question is, what is the craziest thing that's ever happened at a live show
Like in history?
in the history of ever?
Okay, hold on a second. I think the craziest thing that ever happened to me, we were on tour with, what's the funniest story I can think of? But we were on tour with the Queens of the Stone Age, and it was our first tour. We didn't have a record label. I think all we had was like some kind of like publishing deal or something like that in Canada, and they were touring Canada, which is they thought we were a Canadian band, so they took us on tour. And when they found out we were from Kentucky, Josh was like, "This makes so much sense now. Everything, my gosh." So, anyways, we were on tour with them, and it was like in the middle of the tour, and it was laundry day, so I didn't have any clean underwear, so I was going commando. And I'd had this pair of jeans that I really, really loved at the time. And there was this hole that was wearing in the crotch. And I was like, please hold out. And I had jumped up on this speaker stack, and I guess they had breathed their last, and they just kind of, dead. And the pants just disintegrated in the crotch. And all of a sudden, it went from wearing jeans to wearing chaps with nothing on underneath it. And this was the second song in the set, and I was like, what would Iggy Pop do? I was like, finish the show. Crowd surf on your knees. No, literally, it was like, which I'm pretty sure I might get in trouble for these days. But like the pants were, like I said, essentially chaps, and I'm like crowd surfing on my knees, like, yes, yes, you love me. And people are like, okay, is this real? Is this real? Is this real life?
It's a different kind of show.
Yeah, totally. And no one knew who we were then, too. So everyone they were kind of like excited to drop me. They were like, I get to be the person to let this guy fall to the floor. So,
Maybe people went home and were like Googling, like, who was the band that wears chaps?
Yeah,
who
totally.
were they?
Yeah.
Well, on that note, thank you. I just want to say thank you so much for just being so open with us today and sharing kind of your story about the song and those moments with us. Because, I mean, me personally, I know a lot of us in this room are probably going through similar battles and have similar experiences. And I think just the song, the album, it's great that we can kind of feel that through your music. So thank you again today for that.
Well, I appreciate you guys. Yeah, it's funny. A couple years ago, I was like, I could try to like polish myself and present myself as something I'm not. I hear you guys laughing. I know I'm not looking that great this morning.
Maybe I'll do a
I was
song
like,
with
or I
Cardi
could
B.
like, yeah, right. But I was like, or I could just kind of live it out and in some regards present it as theater and provide a safe space for us to all relate on a pretty deep level. And anyways, I appreciate everyone going along with that journey with us. I certainly look at the audience many times and I'm like, okay, these people are here because they relate and they identify with, and I've had a lot of special moments throughout the years because of that. So thank you guys.
Thank you. And let's kick off the Stanley Cup playoffs tonight.
Let's do it.
Thank you so much again. Give it up for Matt Schultz, Cage the Elephant.